Time paradoxes, they come with societal rhythms and historical events. A time paradox is when you think you're moving into a certain time period of age and you're not. Like, for instance, the technology might get better, but the people may not become smarter. They may become less able to think critically and think for themselves. This is deep in the instinctual mind, linked to survival too, going deep into the hippocampus, stretching into the frontal lobes, the frontal lobe cortex. It's basically involving all the brain. Like the whole, you know what I mean? It's like the most divine part of you taking care of the animalistic part of you. Understanding these time paradoxes. To know that just because styles and things change and shows and all of that, it doesn't mean that things are changing. The appearance of things are changing. But you notice how it's certain baselines that don't change over time. You can think of what the constants are. We don't have to go over the topics again. Think of economics. Think of religion. Think about music. Think about entertainment. Think about news. You haven't seen too many changing of the guards in too many of these spheres, have you? So time paradoxes are in place, because if they're not out of style and they're not dinosaurs, if they're not considered prehistoric, then they're keeping up with the times. And anybody who can keep up with the times for a long enough time, it can seem like they're bending time. Because once you start picking up on patterns and you start seeing how time is very cyclical, you can start getting ahead of the pattern. Like, you would look like a trendsetter, but you're just catching the wave as it comes back around. You just catching it. You see it coming back around like a carousel. You see where your kid is on the carousel. You know that your kid got on the purple horse. It's spinning around. It's like, how did this person guess right on the purple horse each time? Because I know what I got on before the ride chose to spin. See, this has a lot to do with knowing what side you on and knowing what you're about and knowing what your goals are. Like, you got to know where you are when you hop on. Like, if you're just hopping on and want to jump into the winds of things without a motive and without any foundation on it, you could get pulled apart. That's whether you're dealing with dark energies or light energies. Light energies can pull you apart by you not feeling like you belong, and dark energies can pull you apart by you not understanding that you got to harness this thing like training a pet, understand the energies. You wouldn't give your life over to a wolf, right? But you got entities with energies that represent wolf-like natures, and people pledge their whole lives and put themselves and their families on the line every day for such entities, principalities, and concepts and God forms. So they get caught in the time paradox. Think they're going ahead, but like the second Mario Brothers for the original Nintendo, you go across the screen and what happened? You come right back around to the beginning again. You beginning right back in the same space. You in the beginning of Matrix Revolutions when Neo was in the train station. Sadi said, "This is nowhere." He said, "Where am I?" Sadi said, "This is nowhere. This is the place between the real world and the machine world. This is the in-between world between your past, present, and future. This is the in-between. This is how you're going to conquer the time paradox. You got to use your mind, and you got to pick up on patterns, because you're going to look like a god of time. You might even have some kind of title as a kind of deified figure when it comes to your relationship to time and how you handle it. But this has everything to do with not you possessing any kind of superpowers, but you enacting universal laws and principles that stand the test of time, no matter what time we're in. And that's the paradox of time. Because the only real time that we could ever work in, through, and from is right now. Right now. Yesterday was called now when we were there. Today is called now because we're in it. And tomorrow will be called now when we get there. Now is always. So always be on it. Again, this is Super T Sigma, a Sigma programming. I thank you for your time and attention. You know, reaching is teaching. In the meantime, continue to vibrate high and stay balanced. Peace.